Hello guys, welcome back to Hangar 51. Just waiting for everybody to get back in the room. We had a technical difficulty. Yeah, so yeah, I had to shut it down and start it over. I don't know what happened. But after the third disconnect, that was enough. So we shut it down, start over. Just waiting for everybody to jump back in the room here. There he is. Victor's the winner. Victor's back in the room first by a millisecond before Michael. Okay. Glad you guys are back one by one. Tara, you're number 3 in the list. Man, that's good. But Victor's the winner. He was the first one back. So I don't know what happened. My OBS just locked up, I guess. I don't know. I know you guys don't know what the control room looks like in OBS, but down the bottom is a box. It's a little square box. And it's either green if you're good, red if you're off, and various other colors of yellow and orange, depending on if it's lagging and it's dropping packets, you know, when it's streaming. So all of a sudden it went to red. I don't know why. I have no idea why. The camera was still working. Even the Rafter cam was still working. But it went red. So then it said I lost connection. I couldn't chat. I don't know what the hell happened. And I don't know if you guys were getting any of my messages. But I finally just said, screw it. I'm going to start over. The computer didn't lock up, so I was able to shut everything down correctly and then reboot. And I brought it all back up. I started a new window, started a new chat, started a new live. Everything's new. So we should be good. But who knows? Computers are, you know, you just never know. Okay, I'll get another airplane. So we can see him bullshit about. Okay. Yeah. Michael, you fucking kill me. You are hilarious. So let me move this shit and get this plane. I gotta put the gear up on it so I can get it in the house. And then I'll bring one out. So let me move this stuff out of the way. I think the battery is still laying in here, the single battery, just to power the gear.
Welcome to OpenTX.
Okay. All right. I'll give you guys a view of the gear as I'm putting it up, because I got to put it up anyway. Okay. Look at how clean that is. I mean, that just closes everything up. Man, that is sweet. Gotta tell you, man, I love the landing gear. Love this airplane. Okay. I pull the battery out of there. Put that back on, shut this off. Is my wire in it? Yeah, it's in there. All right. Okay. All right. Let me go get an airplane. I'm going to surprise you. I'm not going to tell you what it is. My head clears. The table. The head's gonna get the table. Okay, guys. That should be okay. Oh, I need something wrong. It's sitting on the battery. Okay, there we go. All right, so it's hard to see it. Let me go get the canopy. It fell off. Hang on a second. Be right back. You can start drooling now. Okay. So for those of you that thought this was the FMS A10, you would be wrong. This is the LX models A10. Very significant differences. They're the same size. You know, they both have 70 millimeter fan units. They're both the exact same wingspan. They both have lights. This is one of the key differences. So the pilot can bail out of this one. So how this works is there's a for lack of a better word, a trapeze servo in the front here. And what it does is you hit the switch and this mechanism goes like this. It's a scissors and it opens up. And when it opens up, it pushes the canopy off the front because there's no tongue and groove in the front, tongue and grooves in the back. So it pulls that up right into the airstream, and the air catches it and flings it off the airplane, which drags the pilot out with it, because the pilot sits on this block here. There's a steel screw in the block, and he's got a magnet in his ass. And he sits on the screw. He's on there pretty good. So when this goes off over top of him, it goes off, it gets caught in the wind, yanks him out of the plane, and then he pulls the chute out with them, and then he comes down on a chute, and the canopy is hanging below him. So they come down as an assembly. So that's one of the features it has. Now this canopy also opens on this plane. You can flip a switch and the canopy goes back and then up and opens. Now this piece was defective. The canopy does not open on this one. And because of that, and because I bought it from Banana Hobbies, I got this plane for free. So I could afford to fix it to make it a good airplane, because the way it comes, it's not really a good airplane. It's got terrible landing gear in it, horrible. And I ended up putting the FMS landing gear in it, which took a lot of work. And I don't know if I'll be able to show that to you on camera. I'm going to try. The landing gear that came in this thing was plastic. Had tiny little wheels. It was plastic landing gear, and it was contact cemented to the painted foam. So I'm maiden flight. I'm running down the runway. As I'm rotating, the nose gear catches what I like to call the ski jump. There's a couple of small little hills in the runway that usually just the plane rolls off of, and helps you get into the air if you hit it just right. And if you don't, it really doesn't matter. But on this one, it actually yanked the nose gear right out of the plane. Didn't break it. It just unglued it. Came out. So I take off, and I'm climbing out, and the nose gear's hanging from the wire. And it's doing this. Forward, backward, forward, backward. So the plane's doing this. Up and down, and up. And every time the CG changed, as the damn gear was pendulating in the wind, the plane was just doing this. It was horrible. I managed to get it back on the ground safely, no damage, or very minor damage. It was some, little something happened. I think it broke one of the mains, because when it touched down, the nose gear got hung, and it pulled the plane sideways, and that snapped one of the plastic mains. So I was very disappointed in that. And I decided I'm just going to put FMS gear in it. So what I did, and I'm going to try to show you on the nose gear, because the nose gear's out of it right now. I haven't put it back in. After I fixed it, it flew great. I put the FMS gear in it, and it flew fantastic. And I think what happened, if I remember right, it was a while ago, the wind shifted on me mid-flight, and I didn't catch that. And I took off in this direction. I took off that way. No, I took off this way toward the road. And because the wind was coming this way. Well, the wind shifted on landing, and it was going that way. So I was landing downwind. And I didn't realize it until I was on final, and I didn't have the option of going around. So it was a beautiful touchdown, but it kept rolling and rolling and rolling. I couldn't stop it. It hit the dirt road, which is a berm, and it pulled the nose gear out of it. And when I say it pulled the nose gear out of it, I mean it pulled the nose gear out. The wood I glued in there to mount the nose gear to is fine. It literally pulled the screw heads through the plate of the nose gear, the FMS nose gear, which is a hardened, very tough, hard plastic. It's not aluminum, but it's a tough plastic. And it just pulled the heads right through the plastic and tore the gear out of the plane, which caused the plane to break the nose off. So you can't see it because I already fixed it, but there's a crack right through here, down here, and down the other side. The whole nose broke off, and I glued it back on. And I'm going to send the plane over there so you can get a good look at it. You can't tell. There's no hint of a seam where the nose broke off at all. Well, yeah, right there. You can kind of see my patchwork there a little bit with the light. But, yeah, it was a good repair. It came out beautiful. Just the lighting in here is showing it off, which is good because I want you to see it. But it came out perfect. So everything's fine. I just haven't... I got sidetracked on all these other airplanes, and I didn't put the nose gear back in it. It's all fine. I just got to screw the nose gear back in. It's ready to fly. The reason I brought this one out is I wanted to show it to you because you've probably all seen the FMS one, but you probably haven't seen this one. This one flies better than the FMS. It's a lot lighter. It flies much better. But it's almost the same money as the FMS, and with the shit landing gear that's in it, it's just not worth buying. Now, if you get the opportunity to buy one of these LX A10s cheap, and I mean really cheap, because either the guy that flew it doesn't like it, or he broke it, or whatever, buy it. Because once you fix it and put the FMS gear in it, it's a great airplane. It flies fantastic. Now, the reason it's lighter is it's not made of EPO foam, it's EPP foam. That's that really hard kind of, the foam that they make a cooler out of. You know, those styrofoam coolers. It's kind of like that. So, it's not real durable. It's easy to damage. It's easy to fix it too, but it's easy to damage it. And this has been beat up quite a bit. Just taking it, I just broke it, bringing it out here. You know, I broke one of the tails, so now I got to glue that. It's just not forgiving. You know, the EPO planes, especially FMS planes, you bang it into something, you might put a dent in it or something, but you're not going to break it ever. This wing, you know, it's real delicate. You know, you got to be real careful with it. It's beautiful. The detail on it's better than the FMS. It's got way more detail on it. But the so the EPO foam, like where the control horns are screwed through the foam, you know, any kind of, you bump that at all and the foam compresses and now the horn is loose. And so now you gotta tighten the screws up some more to re-firm it up in the foam, and then the next time you bump it, so you keep squeezing it. There's just a lot of issues with the plane. So if you can get one for free or dirt cheap, buy it. But don't ever pay full price for this thing because it's just not worth it. I would buy the FMS all day long over this one. You know, apples to apples. It's a way better airplane. But if you get the opportunity to buy one of these cheap, buy it. Because it's a good airplane. It flies fantastic. I've got a few of these LX models, and I tell you, they fly great. They look great. But durability and quality-wise, they got crappy... the servos in it are crap, just like Hobby King. You end up having to replace them. Just stuff like that. This came defective. You know, when I opened the box and put it all together, the right aileron servo was dead and the green nav light was dead. They're wired together. So whatever the power issue was at that point, and it wasn't in the plug as I checked it, there was a short somewhere, cutting the wire, I don't know, but it was dead. So I contacted them. I didn't hear back from Banana Hobbies. So I filed a PayPal claim. They didn't respond to the claim, so PayPal gave me my money back. Then they contacted me. Well, by then I'd already fixed it with my own stuff and flew it, and the nose gear ripped out of it. So they contacted me, and you know, same old, oh, well, we're sorry, we'll be glad to take care of that for you, but there's a problem with the money. Can you resend the funds? I said, I'll be happy to resend the funds once you send me my servo with the nav light wired into it and new retracts. Because these are broken, they're garbage, and you need to replace them. And they said, okay, we'll be glad to do that. I said, okay, as soon as I get them, I'll send you the money. They never sent them, so I never sent them the money. You know, that was the end of it. I'd gladly send them the money if they sent me what I need, but you know, I've dealt with Banana before, and they're so nice to you on the phone. They're never rude or anything like Hobby King was, but whoever's in charge of their warranty stuff and their internet stuff is not on the ball because they either don't respond or they don't care. I don't know. So I've gotten a few free planes from Banana Hobbies just because they don't do what they need to do to get the money. You know, all they have to do is respond to, you know, PayPal when PayPal says, okay, we've got a complaint. This is his story. What's your story? And they don't respond. So, okay, well, I guess you don't have a story. So we're going to rule in favor of him. We're giving him his money back. Boom. That's it. Done. So I didn't pay anything for the plane, but I spent $180 to put the FMS retracts in it. That plus some wood and a lot of labor. So I'm going to try to show you now It's going to be hard to see, but you're going to have to look inside because the nose gear's out of it, so you'll be able to see the wood. I put stacks of wood long down the airplane because I wanted a lot of leverage. I wanted the wood to have a lot of leverage along that the length on both sides, so that the landing gear would go down in between it, and it's all the way into the floor. Well, the ceiling if it's right side up, but the floor if it's upside down. All the way up as high as it needed to be so the gear would work, and then as far forward as I could get it, so that I had a lot of glue surface. I wanted a lot of surface on the foam, so that the little wood blocks that I stacked and glued in there don't just rip out of the foam. And it worked, because there's no damage to the wood or the foam. It ripped the landing gear out of the wood. So the foam stayed in, the wood stayed in, but it ripped the gear right through the screws out of the nose. So that was perfect. Is Fred leaving? You have to go get ready for TGI. Thank God it's Friday, work day. Thanks for everything. Okay, all right, Fred. Glad you were here. Thanks for coming. Appreciate it. We'll see you. Yeah, I'll probably either see you Friday in Dave's or Saturday in Ryan's. So, but thanks for coming. Have a good night. We're just going to hang out here for a little while. We'll see how long these guys are going to stay on tonight. So here's what I did. Let's see if I can do this without breaking it again. Okay, so yeah, that's not bad. You can see the wood I put in there. Now, of course, one side's longer than the other because of the tiller arm. Goes out the other side, but you can see where the 4 screw holes are. And the wood blocks, and they're stacked. I don't know, I'll tilt it a little bit. See, maybe you can see the stacking. Maybe this way. So I went and got wood at Walmart. They sell bags of wood for hobby stuff, and the bags are cheap. And I think I paid like $1.97 or something for a whole bag of wood, different sizes of square longs. They're about a foot, I guess. Each piece of wood's about a foot long, different diameters. And to get the right height, I had to mix diameters, so they're not all the same size. But I built that in there, and then I mounted the gear to it. And I did the same thing in the mains. You can't see it because the wheels are in there and up. But it worked out perfect. Came out beautiful. So now the gear works just like the FMS plane. It looks good because it's good looking gear. Works perfect. And this plane is just a dream to fly now. Love this airplane. If you go on Banana Hobbies, YouTube Banana Hobbies 810, and Pete will demonstrate the airplane. And he'll show you the canopy opening. He doesn't do a demonstration of the cockpit coming off and ejecting the pilot, but he tells you it does it, I think. But he does demonstrate the cockpit opening. And, so when I contacted him and said, okay, so the servo don't work, the nav light don't work, and the canopy doesn't open. So I need all that replaced, and now I need the landing gear too, because it broke on takeoff, maiden flight, it ripped the landing gear out of it. And they didn't respond, so I got the plane for free. So, only because I got the plane for free, I'm happy with the purchase, and I'm happy with the mods I've made to it. If I'd had to pay for this thing, it would never have been worth the money. And that's the problem I have with LX models. Their stuff is designed well. It flies very well, but every one of their planes has the worst wheels on it. I mean, every one of their jets. All their jets are way out of proportion. They get to put these tiny, tiny little wheels on them that are nowhere near scale. And I don't know why they do that. So, you can forget flying anything from them, jet-wise, off of grass. Forget it. It ain't happening. You're going to have to change the landing gear. Period. But other than that, You know, it's a pretty good plane. I like it. Now, I've been trying to get... You can buy this whole canopy from Banana. It's pretty cheap, you know, with the mechanism in it. I think it's only 17 bucks, I think. You get everything. You know, you get the pilot, the parachute, the whole canopy with the mechanism to have it open. It's an assembly. You buy it just like this for like 17 bucks, I think it is. But they're still out of stock of it. And this has been, I've had this plane for years. And they, you know, that's how Banana works. I mean, they'll eventually get it. They don't stop getting stuff, but they just wait till they have a huge order to LX, and then they order it all at once. You know, they won't make small orders or anything. So that's one of the problems with them, is you have to wait till they get a whole order together before you can order anything, you know, before you can get anything. So it's kind of a pain. But, so I've ejected the pilot a couple times, putting on a show. Guys laugh their ass off when they see the pilot come out. You leaving too, Jeff? All right, man. Have a good night. Thank you, man. Glad you were here. I mean that, guys, to all of you. You just don't know how happy I am you're here. You know, it's just so great to have you guys here. So this is what you do. You just tie that up. You set it down here in front of the pilot's feet. Then you put the pilot on his little screw. So he sits there. The parachute sits on his feet, right there in front of him. And then this is a little tricky to put on, but not that bad. Let me, I think I'll go this way. Let me untwist the wire here a little bit, the strings. That's another thing LX uses. They use strings for everything. They close the retract doors with strings. They're big into this string thing. They were even steering the tail wheel or the nose wheel with strings for a while. I think they've gotten away from that now, but it used to be the pull, and you had strings, and you had to get the strings just the right tension so that there wasn't a lot of slop in it. It was just not good designing there, you know. Their design of the plane itself and the foam quality, you know, as far as the detail, is beautiful, but they're lacking in a lot of departments. And it's a shame because I like their stuff. I really do. But, you know, it's just not... Okay, so when you put this on, what you got to do is you put the pilot against the back of the seat, okay? And then you have to push the pilot off the screw gently to get the tongue and groove in the back. Okay, so we're going to do that. And usually he pops right back on the screw. Okay, so I got the tongue and groove in. Yeah, he went right back on the screw. And then the front part magnet's on. And it's on there pretty good. I mean, I picked the airplane up by it. And then that little servo shoots up and it ejects the front of it shoots that off the magnet, and the wind catches it, and off the whole mechanism goes with the pilot and the parachute, and then he comes down. So it's kind of cute, you know. It's a neat little extra, because they claim this is a 8-channel or 9-channel airplane. So there's 6 flight controls. The canopy open is 7. The ejection system is channel 8, and then I guess that's all there is. Yeah, so it's an 8-channel plane. So anyway, when it tripped on it broke the nose of there was the Gatling gun that's broke off the front. I got to glue that back on. I think I'm going to 3D print a better Gatling gun to put on there to make it look better, because the foam one didn't look that good in the first place, and then as soon as you damage it a little bit, it looks like ass because it's foam and it, So I think I'm going to 3D print one and glue that on. And then there was a light, and LX loves doing this. They do it on all their planes. They put an LED in it that's red, blue, green, that scrolls through colors. So that LED will turn yellow and orange and purple and red and blue and green, and it just keeps cycling through these colors. I don't know why they do that. Christ, they do it on all their airplanes. You know, I've got a B-2 Spirit. You know, the B-2 bomber. That's from them. It's got that same stupid light, the same color light on the nose wheel. This one was actually in the middle of the Gatling gun, right in the center of the Gatling gun. They had the light, and on the B-2, it's on the nose wheel. And then on another plane I have it. Where did they put it on that one? It's usually on the nose wheel. So it's just one of their signature things. I don't know why they do it. It's kind of goofy. It's not a deal breaker by any means, but it's just goofy because no plane has a light on it that changes, 17 different colors. It's kind of goofy. But anyway, like I said, not a deal breaker. But other than that, it flies good. It looks good. It's a good looking airplane. If you can get around all the tedious little bullshit that, like I said, I never paid full price for it. But if you get a screaming deal on it, I'd buy it because it flies good. Once you get, used to all the ins and outs of the foam and not dinging it around too much so you don't, because like right now, this one that's compressed, I got to re-tighten up these screws because there's too much play in the aileron now. So I got to re-tighten those screws to compress the foam again. Because once the foam compresses on this, it doesn't spring back. It's, forever compressed. So at some point, I'm probably going to have to cut the foam out, put a wood block, glue a wood block into the foam and screw the control horn to the wood, because this is going to finally just give up eventually. If I keep banging it into stuff, which is, inevitable when you're dealing with, foam airplanes. I don't break them flying them. I just break them getting them in and out of the house. So yeah, I broke one of the verticals. I broke that vertical stabilizer. I hit the refrigerator door as I was going by, and it just went snap. And it didn't come off. It's there. It just snapped it. Now it's got a hinge that'll fold down. So I'm just going to have to bend it over a little bit and wick a little glue in there. I usually use epoxy on this stuff. And I put a little epoxy in there, stand it back up. It'll be fine. It's not... you can't even see it. I mean, it cracks so clean that when you put it back, it's standing in place. So right now, you cannot see the damage. I have to actually push it over to open the crack so you can see the crack. The crack has disappeared. So when I put a little bit of glue in it, stand it back up, and then wipe the excess glue off, you ain't even going to be able to see it. It'll be fixed that easy. And then this, I did the same thing. I glued it. I put barbecue skewers through it. And then I feather filled and sanded it. And it came out beautiful. It looks terrific. So it's a good airplane. I'm not happy. I'm not sorry I bought it. But, I would have been very sorry if I had paid full price for it and got screwed over on it. Which is probably what would have happened had I not bought it through PayPal and then filed a claim. I got to tell you guys, if you're not using PayPal, get it. Because they have saved my bacon so many times where I would have gotten screwed. From Hobby King, from Banana, this last one, General Hobbies, or that Corsair I bought that came broken. It was an LX model, just like this one. And the flaps were broke off, and he didn't want to fix it. He just wanted me to buy a roll of reinforced packing tape and tape it back on. What a jackass. So you file a PayPal claim, and they're always on your side. They never take their side. Unless you're just completely out of your mind what you're asking for. But if you just say it wasn't... I just say the same thing every time. Not as described. It's one of the choices. Plane is not as described. So that's what I pick. I explain what's wrong. It came broken. It's not the right plane. It didn't... whatever. And then they have 10 days to respond, and Banana never responds, so I always get my money back from them. Other places respond, and you make an offer, and they don't accept your offer and want the plane back, like the guy at General Hobbies. And so I sent the plane back, and PayPal gave me my money back. So what I should have done is just I made him an offer of $215 to keep the plane for half price and fix it myself. What I should have done is stayed with that offer, not sent him the plane back, and upscaled it to a claim, I guess. It's when you first file, it's not a claim yet. You can escalate it to a claim. If I'd have filed the claim, I would have, because I did. I got half my money back first because PayPal misunderstood what happened. They thought I still had the plane. So they gave me. They basically said, "We're ruling in your favor. We're going to send you back the $215, half the price." And then I had to call them up. Well, I sent them actually, I did call them. I called them up and I said, "No, you don't understand. I sent them the plane back. But we ruled in your favor." "No, you didn't rule in my favor. You only gave me half my money back. I don't have the plane. He got the plane." See, he rejected my offer. I offered him $215 to keep the plane, but I'll just fix it on my own since he didn't want to fix it, and he declined that. He wanted the plane back, so I sent him the plane back. So you guys need to give me all my money back, not just half. And that's what they did. They said, "Oh, you're right. Yeah, okay. So we'll they actually filed it twice to do it just because of the legality of it, I guess. So they filed a second claim. What they said? The first one was not as described. The second one was, I guess it was not received. Because I sent it back, so I no longer have it. So they filed item was not received, and then of course he didn't respond because he's being fair, at least honest, and he got the plane back. So yeah, I guess I didn't receive it. So he didn't respond, and then I got my other $215 back. So yeah, I got all my money back. He got the plane back. But if I hadn't, I would have kept the plane and the $215, and then I would have had to buy a center section, probably from Banana, because he didn't want to send me one. And then I would have fixed it, and I would have had half the money in it, and I would have fixed it. So that was a learning experience. I won't do that again. The next time I won't send the plane back. I'll just escalate it to a claim and wait for PayPal to rule in my favor, and I'll get to keep the plane and the money. But that's how I got this one. I got all my money the first time around. This plane wasn't as described. They didn't respond. I kept the plane and got all my money back. So yeah, it does make you wonder how much Banana's losing, both in customers and in funds. Because, Wes is one of those that hates Banana. He won't buy from Banana. I'm not sure, what experience he's had with them. I've had some problems with some of the. I bought a couple of airplanes from them now, several actually. The first one I bought was perfect. Well, the plane was perfect. All right, and I did a video on this. If you haven't seen it, I bought the FMS. It's under their Blitz RC Works, whatever their name, but it's the same airplane. It's the Skytrainer 182. It's a Cessna 182 that FMS sells, and Banana Hobby sells under Blitz RC Works, and several other places sell it under Aero Sky, I think, is another brand name. It's same airplane. It's the same damn airplane. FMS doesn't make it. HSD makes it. And I know you're familiar with HSD because that's who made the big jet that Wes has. They are by far the best quality maker of everybody right now, by far. That my A1 Sky Raiders from HSD. I have several airplanes from HSD. So the plane arrived and it was in perfect condition. Everything is fine, but I bought the ready to fly version. It came with a radio, a battery pack, a charger, everything. Everything you need to fly it was in the box. And I couldn't find the receiver. I thought it was in the plane. It wasn't in the plane. And I'm like, why isn't the receiver in the plane? So I'm looking all around in the box. I tore the box apart literally to see, and it wasn't in the box. It wasn't in the plane. And I'm like, okay. So I just sent them. They want a text message. They don't want you to call them. They want a text message or an email. So I sent them a text message. Got a message back same day, couple hours. Oh, we're so sorry. Did you look in the battery bay of the transmitter? Sometimes they put it in there. I'm thinking, why the hell would I look in? I'm not going to put batteries in it. I don't have a receiver. Why am I going to put batteries in the transmitter? I don't have a receiver to power the plane. That'd be pointless. So I opened the battery bay of the transmitter, and sure enough, the receiver's in there. So, but I get the receiver out of it, and I look at it, and it's got used servo tape on the back of it. So it's been in an airplane. All right. Now I'm like, okay, well, that's not going to work for me, because why would they take it out of the airplane? They crashed the plane? The receiver doesn't work? You know, either way, I don't want it. I don't want that receiver. It's been used. It's either it didn't work in the first place, or it's probably damaged now from the crash. So I say, okay, I sent them another message. I got the receiver. It was in the battery bay, but it's used. It's got used servo tape on it. Now, I don't want to fly this brand new airplane. I wasn't going to fly it on that radio anyway. But I had plans for the radio, and I needed that brand new receiver. So they sent me another message. Oh, we're so sorry. We're going to send you a whole new radio. Okay, I don't know why they're sending me a whole new radio. I just need a receiver. It's one of their standard receivers on their page. You know, they offer that receiver separately. Why won't you just send me the receiver? But whatever. Okay. So I said, okay, fine, send me a new radio. And I was supposed to box this radio up and send it back. A week goes by, I haven't heard from them. So I contact them again. Hey, can I get a tracking number on that radio you're sending me? Because it hasn't got here yet. Oh, we're so sorry, we forgot to ship it out. Okay, whatever. Yeah. But then I got a tracking number within an hour. They immediately corrected the problem, and I got a tracking number from the United States Postal Service, UPS, or not UPS, but USPS. And it showed up, 5 days later, 4 days later, whatever it was. And I open it up. It's not the same radio. The radio that the plane came with was a 6-channel radio, which is said so. On the box, in the ad, comes with a 6-channel radio. The radio I had gotten originally was a 6-channel, had dual rates, trainer switch, servo reversing, mechanical trims, which I like. If it doesn't have a screen on it to see where your trims are, I'd rather have mechanical trims instead of digital ones, because if you got digital ones that just beep and no screen to tell you where it is, you have no idea where your trims are. Every time you pick the radio up, you're like, where are my trims? You don't know. But if they're mechanical, they swing. You roll them, so now you can see that it's rolled halfway over to the left or whatever, up, down, right, whatever. So I was perfectly happy with all that. I had no problem with that radio. Well, the new radio they send me has nothing. It's a 5-channel radio and it's nothing on it. No dual rates, no trainer switch, no potentiometer for one of the nothing. I think it had reversing, but that's it. It had no switches for anything, nothing. No dual rates, nothing. It was only 5-channel. So that wasn't going to work for me. So I decided I'm just going to wait and see if they contact me wanting the other radio, because I'm done farting around with this. So I didn't send them my back, and they never contacted me asking for it back. So I kept both radios. I gave the radio they sent me as a replacement radio. I gave to somebody. The guy at the field I used to fly. He doesn't like a programmable radio with all the different, 40 model memory, and he can't stand that. He just wants a radio that you turn on and it works. He doesn't want to have to go in and change the airplane from this plane to that plane to that. He's an old guy, stuck in his ways, and he doesn't want to learn. anything new. So I started giving him all these. Every time I bought a ready-to-fly plane, I'd give him the radio so he could put it in one of his airplanes, and he's got a separate radio for each plane he has. And I painted around the bottom of the radio what it was, for which plane it was in, and I put it in for him and all that. And he was so happy that he could just go out and pick up the transmitter that says, Sky, I don't know, it was a glider that Sky something. And it was painted around the bottom of the radio. So he knows that radio goes to that glider, and he could just turn it on, put a battery in it, and go fly it. You don't have to worry. So he was so happy. So that's what I did with the radio. I gave it to him. The other radios I still have. I haven't done anything with it. I had planned on building a flight test paper airplane and putting the radio in it and selling it as a package, ready to fly, flight test. The Explorer plane is the one it's kind of a glider looking. And I was going to sell it as a package. Battery, plane, assembled, radio, ready to fly. And I was going to sell it at the hobby shop. I was going to take it up to the hobby shop and hang it up on the ceiling with a sign on it for sale. They do a what do they call that? Consignment. And of course, the hobby shop went out of business, and there's no other hobby shops around to do this with. So I still might do it. Not a big hurry, but at this point, whatever. So. But I always intended to fly the plane on my Tyrannus anyway, so I didn't really care what radio I got. But I wanted the radio that I was promised in the ad and on the box, and so I still don't even know. I've never plugged that receiver in and powered it up to even see if it works. I don't even know if it works. I haven't used the transmitter was brand new, but I hadn't even powered it up to see if it works. It became a non-issue. Whatever. So anyway, that's my dealings with Banana. I bought a P38 Lightning from them. I paid for that one. That one came fine. I had any problem with that one. There's another LX model. I bought a B25 Mitchell from them. It was missing parts. Couldn't screw the wing on it. It was missing the wing hold downs. It was missing, I don't know, there's a couple things it was missing. I couldn't screw the wing onto it. Filed another PayPal claim. They didn't respond. Another free airplane. Of course they contacted me. Oh, we're so sorry you had a problem. What can we do to make this right? So get me the plate. I need the screw bag because some of the screws are missing. So I need the screw bag that has all the different size screws. Because I'm missing those screws, and I'm missing the two plates that hold the wing on. The wing mount plates. They're oblong like this. They were both the same, and the screws go through these plastic plates into the foam to hold the wing on. Okay, no problem. We'll get those. We send the funds. I said I'll send the funds as soon as I get the parts. Never got the parts. They never got their money. Still haven't flown that plane. I'm going to have to make. Now that I have a 3D printer, I may actually 3D print those plates I need. I was just going to get plywood and cut out some plywood and put them in there. The way it was designed, the screws were recessed in the plastic, but if I used plywood, the screws would be sticking out. So again, I've got so many other airplanes and so many other projects. I haven't done anything with that, but it's a beautiful bomber. It's a smaller one. It's not the 1400 size FMS. I think it's 1200 size. I think it's a 1200 millimeter wingspan. It's a nice looking plane. So you can go on Banana Hobbies and look at it. It's beautiful. They have it two colors. The olive drab green or the silver, and I bought the silver one. And it's a real pretty airplane. It's got lights all over it, and it's a nice airplane, but I didn't get all of it, so I didn't pay for it. I'm not trying to cheat these people, but I want what I paid for, and I give them every opportunity to make it right. They don't make it right, they don't get their money. Who's leaving? Michael who? Mike, are you leaving? Where are you going? Out of Dodge. Oh, come on. All right, Michael. If you're still here, thanks for coming. I'm sure I'll see you in the chat Saturday night. Until then, you take care. Glad you're here. So let me get caught up in the chat because I've been talking a lot. You're still pulling glue off your fingers, Jeff? What about getting it off the dog? Oh my God. What kind of mess did you make? Holy crap. Please tell me my ex-mother-in-law will fit in that seat. What seat? What are we talking about? Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how much money Banana's losing, but I guess Wes has had the same experience that I have, but hasn't corrected it through PayPal, and he's just mad at him. I got all my stuff corrected from Hobby King, but I'm still mad at them. They're just horrible. I absolutely will not send my money to Hobby King. It's not happening. I'm done with them. I heard Hobby King went out of business recently. I don't know if there's any truth to that, but I heard they went bankrupt. Wouldn't surprise me. So I haven't seen the chat window move in quite a while. Are we on? Are you guys still there? The last time I bought from Banana, how long it hadn't been that long. I bought something fairly recent from them. I'm trying to think what was the last purchase from them. Not sure. Probably about a year or two, I'd guess. Yes, I have thought a lot about that paraglider. One of the guys at the field has it. The paramotor little seat on the parachute. One of the guys at the field has it. It's a hoot to watch fly. It's funny as hell. It flies just like, we have a whole paramotor club that comes out to our field. And that's why he bought it. So they were all out here one day, and they always go to the far end where we don't fly to stay out of our way. And so he puts it up in the air and he flies it straight out to them. And he's circling around right over him. It's funny as hell. Because one of the guys there, London, he got it right on Facebook and starts texting, messaging, and we're all reading it because we're getting notifications. Hey, somebody is flying a paramotor over our heads. It's a radio control one. I gotta get one of those. It's cool. So he thought it was cool. Yeah, it's definitely wanted to do that. Absolutely. Did you put Woody on yours? Oh yeah, no kidding. You like it? Is fly good? Yeah, it's sweet. Yeah, we like it. I have thought of buying it. If it was from anybody but Hobby King, I would have already owned it. I mean, I would have jumped on that in a heartbeat. Now I'm just sitting here thinking about, I want it, but I don't want to send my money to Hobby King. So I don't know. Still on the fence. I haven't pulled the trigger, but yes, it is on my mind. Yes, I do want it. Yes, I think it's pretty cool. It's just, if it wasn't coming from Hobby King, it'd already be in the hangar. I just cannot bring myself to send them another dime of my money. I'm just so sick of them. Because they just treat you so bad. You know. When you have a problem. They don't even want to talk to you. You know, you're a thief. So, well, good, Brian. I'm glad you have one, and I'm glad you're having a good time with it. Because Bob has one, and like I said, at Artfield, and he has a good time with it. He was having trouble with it one day because he didn't know the weight had fell off. You know, he put a big weight in the seat to get the CG right. Well, on one of his landings, it fell off, and he didn't know it fell off. So he was trying to fly it, and it wouldn't fly, and he couldn't figure out what was wrong with it. And I was walking the runway looking for somebody else's, I don't know, a wheel fell off or something, I don't know. So I'm walking the runway looking for this guy's part, and boom, I find this big chunk of metal, a lead, you know, big round, looked like a wheel, but it's just a round piece of lead. And so I picked it up. I didn't know it was Bob's. I didn't even take it over to him. I had it. And I had set it on the table. Whenever we find parts that we don't know who they belong to, we set them on the picnic table. Because everybody, at some point of the day, goes to the picnic table for one reason or another. So we put all the lost parts there. And so I had it sitting on the picnic table. And I was over there talking to Bob about his paramotor, and we were joking around. And he says, oh, he noticed that the weight was missing. He goes, I know why it won't fly. I'm missing my weight. And I said, what weight? And he says, oh, there's a big round piece of lead that's supposed to be right here. And I started laughing. I said, I found it. He goes, you did? I go, yeah, it's over there. And I went over and picked it up and got it, brought it to him. He goes, yeah, that's it. So he put it back on, and then it flew fine. So, but yeah, it's a hoot. I like it. It's cute. Definitely like it. The paramotor guys really liked it. They thought it was funny as hell, you know. So, and I bet it's really cute with Woody on it. That's got to look funny as hell. I think I saw that. I didn't know it was your video. It was way before we started this chat and I met you. But I saw a YouTube video. You did a YouTube video of it, right? With Woody in the seat? So you leaving, Victor? Gotta go take a shower? Alright, man. Again, thank you. I'm glad you're here. I hope you're not mad at me. You know, I know it was late. You know, it'll never be late again. If my boss wants him to do a meeting on Thursday night, he's going to be meeting by himself, because I ain't going. I don't care what he does. I ain't going. You know, this was bullshit. He already knew I wasn't available on Thursday night from last week. And what's he do? He makes it on Thursday night again. And then nobody showed up for it. So, yeah, I'm all done with his meetings. You know, if he puts it on Thursday night, he's going to be meeting alone. I ain't going to be there. You know, I've had enough of that. Yeah, I'm working tomorrow. I got to work all day tomorrow. I have to go in early tomorrow because my shift tomorrow is from noon to 9:15. We close the store at 9 o'clock, and then we have to do the closing of the registers and all that. So it's usually 15 minutes. So I'm working from noon to 9:15. Now they want me to come in at like 10 or 9. My choice. I haven't made up my mind yet. If I get up in time, I'll probably go in at 9. So I'll be working 9 to 9 tomorrow, or 10 to 9 tomorrow. But I got a big shift tomorrow. So no big deal. Oh, so the other Woody wasn't you, huh? Okay. Yeah, I started laughing when I saw Woody in the paramotor. I saw that. Now that's cute. Yeah. So, but it wasn't you. All right. It's cute anyway. I know you're. It's got to be funny as hell when you put that in the air with Woody in there. You need to put Buzz on the back of him, over, like he was on the car in the movie, where Buzz was behind him and they were riding the buggy. Yeah, you should put them both in there. I'd probably throw the CG off, but it would look funny as hell. I have all the Toy Story toys, all of them. I have 2 Buzzes and 2 Woodies, and then I have the dinosaur, Mr. Potato Head, because it's got Don Rickles' voice in it. I love that. They all talk, you know. They all have voices and talk, all of them. I have the Buggy. I've got the little green men from the claw machine. The claw. Who else do I have? Piglet. I got Piglet. I have him. I've got Springy Dog. I think that's it. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of that stuff. And of course, I was working at Disney, so it's almost an obligation to buy this stuff. Not really, but I use that joke all the time. I said, well, I have to buy it. I work for Disney, you know. I just love toys, so I buy it anyway, you know. I'm checking out at the register, and the girl says, oh, this for your kids? No, it's for me. I get funny looks sometimes. So what can I say? I'm a big kid. I like toys. I can't help myself. The girl I was dating at the time had a 6-year-old girl. And her mother told her I had Buzz Lightyear and all that. So one day we were playing, and she was there with her girlfriends. We were going to play hide and seek. And one of her girlfriends looks at me and says, do you really have a Buzz Lightyear? And then I looked at her and said, yep. And a Woody, and the dinosaur, and Mr. Potato Head, and the dog, and the little buggy. Yeah, I got them all. You know, when I worked at Disney, I had a lunchbox. You know, one of those soft lunchboxes. It was Cars. You know, Lightning McQueen, and and I would carry that to work. And the guys, my fellow bus drivers, would laugh at me and say, "What, did you steal your lunchbox from your kid?" Says, I don't have any kids. It's my lunchbox. And they just start laughing. Well, a kid got on my bus one day and got mad at me. He says, you're too old to have a Buzz Lightyear or a Cars lunchbox. I said, says who? Says my dad. I said, well, your dad don't know what he's talking about. I'm not too old. I love my lunchbox. I can have a Cars lunchbox if I want to. I want it. I like it. He just thought that was, obviously his dad telling him, when you reach a certain age, you got to stop playing with toys. No, you don't. I haven't stopped playing with them. I buy them all the time. I love toys. I was so mad when they came out with the big wheel because I was already too big to ride it. I wanted a big wheel so bad, but I was already way over. I mean, I used to knock one of the kids off of his and steal it for a while, and go for a ride on it, but I was really too big for it. They came out with it. I was about 13 when they came out with the big wheel, and I wanted one of those so bad. And I could barely fit on the damn thing. I was too big. I was bummed. I was like, damn, that was a cool thing they came out with. You could do spin outs with it and all kinds of cool stuff. It was almost like riding a motorcycle, almost. That was pretty good for a 13-year-old. That was big time cool. All right, Victor, I'm glad you're not mad. 6 a.m. for you. Yeah, I don't have to get up that early. That's probably what time I'll go to bed. That's not a lie, really. I'm probably going to go in the house and watch a movie or something. Or more. If anybody's put up some new RC videos, that's what I do. I mean, it's like, again, I just can't get out of this hobby. Not afraid or ashamed to say it. Just love this hobby. So what do you guys think of the A10? And how many of you guys have had a bad experience with Banana Hobbies? Thank you, Tara. Yeah, I love it too. I mean, it's a pretty plane. It really looks good. Yeah, and not knocking the FMS one for any, I mean, it's a good looking airplane. It's heavy though. God, I mean, that thing's built like a brick shithouse. It's heavy, it's strong, it's that good foam. Now let me do a rafter cam here. You get a size, look how big this damn thing really is. It's huge. So now you can see, from the wing here, my armpit's at the edge of the wing, halfway across. It's 1500 millimeter. It's a big airplane, man. It's huge. It goes all the way back to, so you can see where the tails are way back here. Yeah, I did adjust the paint a little bit. I got matching paint, and the paint normally went, I added this and all of this. It went straight across here, and I think straight up. And I just thought that looked, because everything else is rounded. It's rounded here. The second color and around the fuselage. The fuselage wasn't even, it was crooked, so I evened it up. So I used my touch-up paint to add paint to here and there to make it look a little more uniform, I guess. Even though it's, camo, it's not really camo. It's just the two-tone. And I wanted to even it up. So I added this line here where it rolls out and then back around instead of straight cut and then rolling around. I just didn't think that looked right. So I touched that up there. I did the same thing with the engine, the cells. They weren't right. They didn't look smooth. So I changed them, and I changed this a little bit right here so it was more symmetrical. That's pretty much it. I didn't do much. That was about pretty much the end of it. I've had to touch it up a couple of times here and there when it gets a, hanger rash on it, but other than that, yeah, it's like I said, if you're paying full price for it, don't buy it. It ain't worth it. I hate to say that because I really like the plane, but if you pay $400 for this airplane and then have to put another $180 worth of landing gear in it, it ain't worth that. That way you can pay $469 for the FMS one and you don't have to do anything to it. It comes out of the box the way you want it, and you can fly it the way it comes out of the box. So even though this one flies a little better because it's lighter and you get a little longer, the flight times aren't really that much longer because the FMS, I think, are running they're in-runner fans, and they're like 7 or 9 blade fans, and this has got the old 5 blade fans in it. So yeah, I don't really remember the flight times being that off. I think the flight times are about the same. This one can handle the 5 blade fans because it's so light. And there's a lot of flex in the wings, you know, just because of the foam they're using. But, you know, I've pulled some pretty heavy G's, and I haven't broke them yet. But they have quite a bit of flex in them. I don't know if you can see that. You might be able to see it in the... Well, let me move my cup. Yeah, you see how much it flexes before the plane picks up? Yeah, and of course real airplanes do that too, so I don't consider that a, you know, a failure of any kind. I mean, real airplanes do that. Here, let me give you the overhead shot. So, you know, when I pick, you can see me pick up on it, it gives, and then it goes, and then the plane picks up. Let me do a quickie and see how that looks. So, you know, like I said, if you can get it at a good price, somebody's selling one used, don't want it anymore, whatever. If they broke it, buy it anyway. It's easy to fix. This foam's really easy to fix. Much easier than EPO foam. You know, it's easier to sand. It's easier to glue. It's easier to get it all lined back up because it breaks clean. It doesn't smush like an FMS, you know, the EPO planes. It just breaks. So the brakes line right back up. So it's real easy to line it back up and glue it. And then I put barbecue skewers through it. I don't know if you can see that. No, I filled in the holes. I basically did diagonal ones because I had already glued the nose back on, not like when I fixed the Valiant. I glued it back together, and then I put the barbecue skewers through it diagonally through the brake. And then I filled the holes in, so you can't even tell I put barbecue skewers in it. It is poking out in one spot, just barely. You can just barely see a little bump in the foam where the end of the barbecue skewers, right there. No big deal. And yeah, it's it's a nice airplane. You know, like I said, if I had paid full price for it and still had to put that gear in, I'd have been pissed. So I'm the only airplane I want from LX right now is that Corsair, the one I had and had to send back. I'm probably going to buy it again from Banana, because I love that airplane. I love the color scheme on it. I love the folding wings. It's got big wheels on it. It's going to fly great off the grass. It's just a beautiful airplane, and it's big. It's 1600 millimeter. It's, you know, I want a big one. You know, I've got 5 other Corsairs, but I want this big one. I've been wanting this plane forever. They had a screaming deal on that plane 4 years ago for Black Friday. It was normally $439. They had it on sale for $339, $100 off. And I didn't have a job at that time. I just didn't have the money. Couldn't buy it. I kick myself every day for not buying that airplane. But now I'm ready to have it, and you know it still didn't work. It's almost like I'm just not supposed to have that airplane, I guess. I don't know. I'm starting to think that way. I had to buy a mixer from Hacker. Okay, Brian, what's that about? What am I missing here? Break this number down. Come on. All right. 317 833 484. Is that 4084 or 4034, Brian? Looks like 4084. Could be a 49. It's at 4984. Can't hardly read that. I don't like the black background setup. That's not the... Okay, so is that a 0 or a 9? Spell the word. Don't write another number. Don't put another number. Spell it. Is that a 9? N-I-N-E? 9? I can't make out if it's a 0 or a 9. I'm just too damn far away from the damn screen to see it. 9? Yes? Okay. So it's 4984. Okay. Four nine eight four. Okay, so 317-833-4984. Okay, I got it. You can delete it. Wrong message. It's 2 more up. There you go. Now you got it. All right, I got you saved in my phone. Thank you. So Farmer Man's coming to Florida to fly with us. Who else is coming down here? Anybody? Have any of you guys heard where Ryan's planning on having his fly-in that he's talking about doing instead of Neffy's gone? He's going to do his own, but he's not going to do it at that field. Have you heard where he's going to do it or when he's going to do it? I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything in the in his room the other night. You're going to send me the paraglider? Brian, are you really? I don't think he'll try to have an event at his field. I think that field's too small. It's a pretty short runway. Got that big tree and barn at the one end. It's probably not the best location for a fly-in. Just like Wes's old field. When I went up to that field, man, it's way smaller than it looks on camera. Holy crap, is that a little field. Jesus. I don't think that... that runway's not 150 feet, I don't think. It's pretty small. And the area you have to fly in is pretty small. I mean, there's a fire station across the runway that's, Jesus, 1,000 feet maybe? It's pretty close. And there's two big trees right next to the fire station. So you can't go flying way out wide. You'll put it right in those trees. Yeah, it's a tight field. There's more room at the end. There's a lot of room at the one end, opposite the road. You can do a lot of flying down there. There's a tree and stuff there, but it's way down. So there's tons of room at this end of the flying field. But you'd have to take off on the runway this way and then fly all the way and stand down here at this end of the field to fly out there. You know, and they have a grass runway going this way, a short one. Yeah, it's a pretty... You'd never hold an event there. There's no way. There ain't even enough parking to hold an event there. It's really small. That's why he went... Well, I know that's not why he went up there, but it's part of the reason he went up to Larks. Papa... See... I'll do this vertically. I live here. Tampa's here. I live here. Okay, let me do it backwards because that's how it's going to look to you. Okay, so Tampa's here, and I live up here. Okay. And then the Boozers live here to me. And Papa lives in the Villages, which is here. Okay? So, the new field, now the old field was between here and me. It was like right here. You know, it was closer to me. And apparently they live right by that field. I mean, like a mile away. So, Papa lives way up here, and he was having to drive all the way down to here, you know, to their field to fly with them. And instead of that, now the Larks field is like right over here. It's off to the side over here. You know, more straight down from Tampa. You know, Tampa's, you know, here, and it's like a straight shot down to Tampa from the Larks field. But it's about, he says it's 20 minutes farther north. But it's about 20 minutes down for Papa. See, Papa was driving 40 minutes to get to Wes's to do the shows on Saturday night, to go fly and then do the shows. Well, he's still going to have to come down to do the shows, you know, so I really don't see the reason to go up to the Larks field, up to the Larks, I got to do it backwards, to go up to the Larks field. But it is a nice field. I mean, it looks to me like it's got real paved runways and a lot more room. So, I don't know. You know, I imagine they can hold an event there. I mean, I've Google Earthed it, and it's a pretty big area. I mean, they've got a lot of room around there to park and to fly, it looks like. A lot more room than they have at their place, the little field. But yeah, it's yeah. If Wes is going to hold an event, then I guess he would have to hold it there at the Larks field. Right, exactly, Brian. They split the difference. They were trying to. The other guy they're flying with now. Who the hell? I guess that guy they've been, you know, flying together with, like when they do their formation flying and stuff. I guess he lives up that way. And instead of having him drive all the way down and Papa driving all the way down, they're meeting, you know, they're splitting the difference and they're meeting halfway. And that's where the Larks Fields comes in. So that's how they found that place and decided that they were going to all fly there. Because it was, you know, halfway for everybody. So, but to my field, see, my field's over here by Tampa, you know. Tampa's here, my field's here, and Wesley's here. You know, straight line, pretty almost dead straight. So from Wesley's field, the Lark's field is up over here a little ways, you know, out to the side, and then Papa's straight up over here again. But from Wes's house to my field is almost a straight shot south, and it's 20 minutes, 30 if you're not, you know, pushing it. You know, it's closer to be. It's closer for him to come to my field than go to the Lark's field, but it's a lot farther for Papa to come to my field because it's, you know, he's coming from way up. So I don't know. I can't imagine, especially on a Saturday, you know, because if Papa's going to be in the show Saturday night, Sunday night, you know, if Papa's coming down there, Papa could come to their house in the morning early, and they could all leave together in one car from their house and come straight down to my field, fly for the day, and then go back home. And Papa would be on the show that night with them because he's going to be anyway, and then he'd drive home from there. Because he's going to drive home from there anyway. So it would just be a matter of getting there early so they could all ride down together to my field. So, I don't know. Wes said he was going to come down, try it out. He wanted to see it. So we'll see. I hope he does. I'm probably not going to go to the Lark's field unless, you know, we already talked about me and Rich Baker, RC Informer, going up there meeting to fly together. So that might happen. And if that happens, you know, I'll go up there. I don't have an AMA right now, and I'm going to have to get it because I want to go to some of these events next year. Now I can go there, and they can allow me to fly as a guest of somebody that is an AMA holder and a member there. I can fly under their AMA and as a guest. I don't know how many times they'd let that happen before they make me get an AMA and join their club, but it just depends on how stringent they want to be about it. But one of the rules with AMA is that you cannot fly at an event as a guest. So if they're holding an event, then if I want to fly at it, I have to have my own AMA license. And you can buy them right there. I guess they have the paperwork or the whatever. So I could renew my old AMA number with them on site and fly, you know, and that would be fine. So that's probably what I'm going to end up doing, actually. I'm probably not going to get it ahead of time. I'll probably just get it. Whichever event I go to, I'll just get it for that event, and then I'll have it for a year from that time until, you know, the next year when I probably go back to the same event. And, hey, fireman! Hey, welcome! I didn't know you were here. When did you get here? Did you just get here? Yeah, you know, it's so funny. I tell everybody how old or how long I've been flying. And it doesn't sink in until I tell them what my AMA number is. You know, because my AMA number is only 5 digits. You know, that's how long ago I got it, you know. So I tell them, you know, 82010, and they're like, huh? There's not enough digits. Well, back in 1973 it was. So, yeah, I was going to AMA pylon racing events. I had to have my license back then. So, but after we stopped racing and I moved down here, I had it when I was flying down here because we were an AMA field and I had to have it when I first moved here. But then after that, I let it go because I wasn't flying at AMA fields anymore. We lost our field to a developer. There's condos on it now, and I couldn't find another AMA field I wanted to fly at. You know, I've been to a couple of them, and you know, all the bureaucratic bullshit that they go through with these, they start yelling, "Oh, you can't fly like that," because it's not. No, I can fly like that because I can do it. You're just mad that you can't do it, so you don't want me to do it because you can't do it. You can't fly inverted across the runway 3 feet off of it. I'm sorry, my skills are better than yours. Deal with it. There's no rules in the AMA book that says you can't fly inverted across the runway. These old farts, they got to bitch about something. So, really, 4 digits? What year did you start flying? Wow. Other than Walt Good, a friend of mine that I flew with, his AMA number was 11. That was the lowest number I knew. Then mine was the next lowest. I haven't met anybody yet with a lower AMA than me until I met Walt. And yours was only 4 digits also. Wow. What year did you guys start flying? Because I started in 73. Oh, you started flying in 1987. Oh, you don't remember what your number is. Yeah, I remember my number. I had it for so many years. I memorized my license, my driver's license number, my social security number, my AMA number, So, right, Brian. So your numbers, how many digits is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 digits. Right, yeah. Yeah, mine was 5. So every time I tell somebody what my AMA number is, they say, that's not enough numbers. Yeah, it is. At 73, it was enough numbers. Yeah, Walt Goods, he was one of the founders of the AMA and this whole hobby. So his number was 11. Oh, Walt's gone. He's passed on. But you can still look. If you go to the AMA site and try to renew a number, put 11 in. And it'll say he's a lifetime member. So it says that. Lifetime member, no dues needed. I think it still says that. Last time I checked, it still said that. So they haven't erased him out of the database. They just left it in there. Right, exactly. These guys, because they can't do it, they don't think anybody else should either. Hey, you can't fly like that. They start yelling at you. You can't fly like that. Blah 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 blah. It's not safe. Yeah, it's perfectly safe. Just because you can't do it doesn't make it unsafe. The only thing I have going for me is I've been flying longer than them. So I shut them right up. And I says, "Who are you to tell me? How long have you been flying? To tell me that I can't fly this way. I've been flying way longer than you have, 99% of the time. These old guys just got into the hobby. There's very, very few I've met yet that have been flying longer than me. And so I just shut them right up. I says, you have no business telling me how I can fly. I've been doing this way longer than you have. And then when I tell them what my AMA number is, they shut right up. So, some of these guys, they have. When you join their club, you have to prove you can fly. So you have to be checked out by their flight instructor. I said, "How long have you been flying? Who are you to check me out?" I've been flying for 17 years. Okay, I've been flying for 47 years. What gives you any idea, right or any other, that you think you should be checking me out? Okay? And then they usually shut up because they back right down. Oh, wow, really? You've been flying for 47? Yeah. You know, what do you want to see? I'll be happy to demonstrate any maneuver you want to see. Well, we just want to see you take off and land safely. Really? That's all you need? Okay. I'll break the Cessna out and there you go. Anything else? Nope, you're good. Thank you. And then I start coming across the field inverted and everything. Bring the jet out. That really freaks them out. Oh my God. If they're old flyers, they've been flying gas. So they don't like the electric planes anyway. Right off the bat, they call you Sparkies. You know, oh, you're one of them Sparkies. Flying them electric planes. Yeah, I'm a Sparky. Yeah. Then you bring a frickin' jet out, and they just flip out. Oh, you can't fly that here, or a drone, you know, a quadcopter. You can't fly that here. Yeah, I can. Watch. I'll show you. I can fly it. You know. No, but we don't. Bullshit. You know, screw you. You know. I can't wait till I get a turbine jet and then I have to go fly for somebody that's only been doing it for 5 years and get checked out by him to be able to fly my turbine. Like I need him checking me out. Yeah. Damn right, fly it like you stole it. Absolutely. I don't know if you've ever watched Flight Test, but Josh had the same exact thing happen to him. He went to a flying field and the old guys were yelling at him. You know, because he was flying unsafe, because he was flying inverted. So just to piss him off, he'd come across the runway dragging the rudder on the runway. Literally, he had the plane down on the ground and dragging the rudder all the way down the runway. Just to piss him off. He said it got him so mad they'd all pack up and go home. They'd all leave. So he had the whole place himself. Because they didn't want to be there. They just get their shit, put the car and go home. And he's doing it on purpose just to piss him off. Because they were pissing him off, you know. The field I used to fly at, the guy that, he doesn't own it, but he's the caretaker. His property's adjacent to it. And we would fly from his property to get to the field. So he kind of had the dictatorship of making the rules. I brought my Avanti out there, and boy, was he pissed. He did not want to see that airplane out there. He made a clear statement that you don't need to be flying nothing other than a high-wing tail dragger. That's all you need to be flying. All the rest of these goddamn airplanes you guys are buying, you just don't need them. So I brought my Cub out. Oh my God, he thought that was the greatest thing on earth. You know, I have a Cub. You know, he says, we have days, man, when it's Cub-only day. If you ain't got a Cub, you can't fly. Oh. Okay, well, I got a Cub. Yep, you can fly. You got a Cub. Okay, good. But he did like he was in Vietnam. So he did love my A1 Sky Raider. When I brought that out to the field, it just almost brought a tear to his eye because, you know, he had flown on those planes in Vietnam. So when he saw that, he flipped out. You know, and he was the only one at the field who knew what it was. You know, everybody else is looking at it and go, what the hell is that? What the hell what do you mean, what the hell is this? They said, I've never seen that plane. I said, because you're too fucking young. You guys don't know what this plane is. You're too young. And they all thought they were older than me. You know, so they said, oh, I'm older than you. No, you're not. Trust me, you're not. So, but yeah. So he knew what that was, and he was thrilled. So, put an EDF on my Cub. Yeah, I should. You know, strap it right on top. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, he'd love that. He'd be pissed. Oh my God, would he be pissed? What the hell's that? What'd you do to that Cub? What's the matter with you? It's too bad I'm not still flying there because my new acquisition is going to be that new, not the 2,000 millimeter Cub that FMS is reintroducing in a new color scheme, but that 1,700 size Cub. I'm buying that plane. Definitely going to buy that plane. I want that plane. I just want that big cub. At that price point, at $249, and it comes with the floats. That is a steal. 1,700 millimeter cub, $249 comes with the floats. If you go on FMS's website, it's only $229, but it doesn't come with the floats. For $20. I almost want to. I probably will send FMS a message. Is that a typo? Does it come with the floats or does it not? And see what they say. Because I can't believe they're charging only, the Horizon's only charging $20 more and giving you the floats. And the unboxing that RC Informer did on the Cub showed the floats in the box. I mean, there was a place in the box for the floats. So it wasn't like they sent the floats in a separate box. Like when, I got the floats with my Cessna, the 150. They came in a separate box. They weren't in the box with the plane. But they're showing the floats, Rich pulled them out of the box with the plane, the floats. So, did Fireman ask me that, or Fireman asked me that and I didn't see it? I still don't see it. Oh, I see it now. No, it's not an A1. This is the or are you talking about the A1 I was just talking about? Yeah, it's 1600 millimeters. So yeah, it's 63 inches, right? Yeah, 63 inches A1. It's the one that HSD used to make, and they keep saying they're going to make it again. I hope they do. Yeah, that's what I had Tuesday night. I had it on the table. Or no, I had the Yak on the table Tuesday. It was last week. I had the A1 on the table. Yeah, it's made by HSD. This is the A10 from LX Models. They got tired of seeing I had the Yak on the table, and they were all telling me they're tired of seeing the Yak. Bring something else out. So I brought this out. What are you sorry for, Brian? What did you say that you're sorry about? I know you retracted a message, but I didn't catch it. I kind of thought I did, and then it went away, and I'm like, wait a minute, what did it just say? You don't have to apologize. We're just here having fun. Really, you can request a number, and they charge you $50 to do that, huh? Wow. Yeah, I'll probably bring one of my old AMA magazines with. I lost my card. I had it right up until a few years ago, just before I moved into here. Actually, I was moving here. And while in the move, I lost my wallet, and my AMA card was in my wallet, my old AMA card. And I know I have the wallet. It's just packed in one of the boxes, and I can't find it. It got packed in the box, and I'll be goddamned if I could find it, son bitch. I haven't looked through all the boxes. Christ, we've got so much shit packed, I don't even know where to begin. But, yeah, it's, Yeah, but I've got boxes of magazines from back in the day, and my AME number, my address, name, address, and my AMA number on the label on the magazine, so I can bring the magazine and prove that was my number. I don't know if anybody's using it or not, but I doubt it. I don't think anybody would request that number. Unless they just request the next lowest number available, and it happened to come up on mine. We'll see. I hope I can get it back. I'd like to keep my AMA number. Not a big deal, but it'd be nice to keep it. Just for sentimental value. It's the number I started with, so it's kind of like to keep it. So. Yeah, don't. It's not going to be a never come back deal for sure, firemen. They're going to build it again. I think they just have to. I've said it before. I'm going to tell you again. Because Andy has got such an in with HSD for JetWorks, and they're building jets right now. You guys have to start hammering Andy to get HSD to bring that plane back. Because Andy will make an order and get them for us. Even though he's JetWorks, he can still buy other airplanes. And if enough people put it in his ear, they'll make it. Just like, everybody was crying at Horizon to bring the T-28 back, the giant T-28. They did. You can buy it again. It's back in production. So, I know it because I know I was in a chat room one time years ago. I think it was on RC Groups. We were all talking in a chat room, and the guy from HSD was in the room talking with us. And one of the guys said, "Listen, I need a prop for my A1 Skyraider. Can you guys make the props again, please?" And then everybody started, one right after the other. "Yeah, I need a prop too." And "Yeah, when are you gonna bring the plane back?" And and he promised everybody they were gonna go back into production on the propellers for sure. And that was a couple years ago. I haven't looked to see if there's. I didn't break mine yet, so I haven't looked for a propeller. But he promised us he was going to make propellers at least for now, and that he would eventually bring the plane back. But there's such a jet craze going on right now. Everybody's got to have a jet. I'm not jet crazy at all. I bought a couple of them. I like them, but it's not my go-to airplane for sure. I love my 1700 Mustang, my P-51. I love that airplane. I love the Cessna 150. I love that giant T-28 from Horizon. That's a wonderful airplane. I'd take those planes over my jet any day of the week. I take the jet out to the flying field because I'm the only one flying one, and the guys like to see it. I come out to the field, and the first thing they ask me when I get out of the car is, "Did you bring a jet?" And if I say no, they get mad. You didn't bring a jet? Oh man, I wanted to see your jet. And then I had the sound system in one of my Mustangs, and they always ask to see. "Did you bring the Mustang with the sound system?" "No, I didn't bring that." And everybody's so disappointed. Like, God, come on, guys, Jesus. The giant T-28, the 2000 or 2100 millimeter, the big thing. The big one, is that the one you're talking about, Brian? Yeah, the Carbon Z. The only issue is the nose, the steering servo in the front of the plane. Before you even fly it, they've got the linkage hooked to on the servo, the arm of the servo. They had the linkage all the way out on the very end to give you the most throw on the wheel. Move it in, at least one hole, if not two. So you just because it takes the leverage off that servo. You're going to break the gears in that servo. It's a 9-gram servo. It's a big airplane. It's a big wheel. It's too much leverage. It's going to it's going to strip the gears in that servo, and you'll have to replace it. But if you move the arm in like I did, you can still, the plane still turns. It has a perfect turning radius anyway. You don't need all of that. It calms it down when you take off roll, so it's not darty. It makes nice gentle corrections. It's better all the way around. That's the only thing you have to do that airplane. Just move that arm in so that you don't, you're not throwing from the end of the arm, because it's got, the feedback is too much leverage on the arm, and it strips the gears. Everybody's broken the gears in their steering servo on the plane. Other than that, you're going to absolutely love that airplane. I promise you're going to absolutely love that. Now, the only other issue is kind of to do with it flying, but the gear doors break. The hinge pin on the outer doors that are hooked to the landing gear, the pin's going to break off. It breaks off on every one of them. One of the hinge pins. They're plastic. The dumbasses built, they molded it. The door's flat, and then they put tits off of each end, and the round tits that you pop into the holders, and it hinges on that. And you're going to break the damn pin off of it. You don't have to have a bad landing or anything. It's the torque or the load force of the gear going up, and the gear itself with that wire pulling it up. Something's not quite right, and it snaps one of the tits off every time. So if you don't want to break those, just take them off. You don't need them on there anyway. Just take them off. I mean, they didn't bother to put inner doors on it, so the wheel's still exposed. It's only covering up a portion of the wheel, so the inside of the wheel near the center of the airplane is exposed anyway, because they didn't put any doors there. So, just take the outers off. Or what I'm doing is I'm machining aluminum pins to replace the plastic one that snapped off on my doors to fix them. I have a lathe that can do that. I can make little pins. Another thing you can do is either drill a hole or get a piece of music wire and heat it up red hot and just feed it right through the plastic. Just make a hole right through it, in and out, and leave that wire in there. Trim it down with, a pair of dikes, and now that piece of music wire is your hinge. You ain't going to break that. So you can put that music wire in there to make your hinge, and then put that back in the airplane, and you'll have a hinge that won't break. That's the only two issues with the plane that you're going to experience right away. Now later on, depending on how many flights, how hard your landings are, if you're flying off grass or pavement, you might the plastic mount for the mains, where the mains are, there's a plastic recess bucket for the wheel to go up into, and in an area where you screw the actual landing gear to the plastic. Mine pulled out of the plane, not all the way out, but I got loose. They pulled loose from because they only put it in with contact cement. They don't epoxy them in or anything. They're not in like they're in permanent. And mine pulled loose, but I have a lot of flights on my plane. I mean, I have a lot of flights on it. I haven't fixed it yet, because what I wanted to do is, like I did in this plane with the wood, I wanted to redo the landing gear in the T-28 with wood like I did in this, so that I won't have to worry about that plastic ever coming loose or breaking. It'll, just do away with it and put wood in it like I did in this. So I haven't been flying that plane for a while now because I want to fix it, as good as I can with the wood. There's a mud dauber. It's a wasp right here. This guy's in here every night. He's got to have a nest in here somewhere, but I haven't been able to figure out where it is. Okay, so he just landed on that drawer. So let's see if he goes in it. Can you see? Oh, you can see the bottom of it. Okay, so yeah, I gotta hang on a second. I gotta fix this. I gotta fix Rafter Cam. It's frozen. Now it's back. Okay, so that white board right there, you can see right above it little sections. Those are drawers, plastic drawers. They're storage bins, and they're 4 high. Well, he's landed on one of them over there, and he's going to crawl in the drawer, I guess. Maybe he's got a nest inside the drawer. I don't know. Fireman. I bet the ghost knows where. Yeah, you're probably right. The ghost probably doesn't know where it is. Oh, that was a good one. Well, I can tell you, Brian, that's the best flying plane you're ever going to own. I kid you not. That T-28 just is amazing. It just flies so good. As soon as you get that thing in the air, you're going to feel like a rock star because it just flies amazing. I absolutely love that airplane. I was on the fence about how much I wanted to fly it because they did away with it. I mean, it was already gone when I bought mine. I had to find it. I had to go to Texas to get mine because I found out they discontinued it, and I shit myself. I'm like, oh my God, I've got to get that airplane. So I called Hobbytown, and I had them check all their stores. Guy called me a couple hours later, and he gave me a list of every store. There was about 11 of them all over the country that had one in stock on the shelf. So I started calling around to verify, and yep, they had them. And then just out of dumb luck, one of my best friends crashed his motorcycle in Texas 10 minutes from that hobby shop. Right down the street. And he was staying with some friends, and he posted it on Facebook that he crashed the bike. So first, naturally, I called him right away to say, are you okay? I mean, he had pictures from the ER where he was all, road rash on his back and his arm and stuff. It looked pretty, painful. So I called him to make sure he's okay. I said, you all right, man? Do you need me to come get you? I was going to take the trailer and go get the bike. And his dog was on the back of the bike with him. She didn't get hurt at all. She was fine. And he said, no, he says, I think I've got a ride, because he was going to buy the bike back. Well, he wasn't sure. At first he thought that, he knew they were going to total it, but he wasn't sure if he was going to buy it back or not. So he told me he'd let me know. if I need to come get him. And I said, okay, I've got the trailer right here. I'm ready to go. Just let me know. I'll come get you. So then I said, hey, can you do me a favor? I said, there's an airplane at a hobby shop 10 minutes down the road from you. Can you go buy that plane for me and bring it back with you? And he said, absolutely. So he went and got the plane and brought it back to me. I had to pay. It's the only plane out of all my 70 airplanes. It's the only plane I've ever paid full price for. I wanted that plane that bad that I paid full price for. It's the only plane I've ever paid full price for. Everything else I own, I've got a good deal on. But I wanted that one so bad I had to buy it. So, yeah, you're going to love that plane, Brian, when you fly it. It is just a spectacular flyer. That's why everybody was bitching at Horizon so bad and bring it back. Because everybody has one, wants another one, and the guys that didn't get it, and they're jonesing for it, just like was it Fireman that wants the A1 Skyraider, or was it Terror? Who wanted the Skyraider and is bummed that he didn't get one? Looking, man. Crap, I must have been farther up than that. Where the hell did that message go? Alright, which one of you guys wanted the A1 and was sorry you didn't get one? I forget now, and I can't find the message. Oh, so, Tara, you're 75 years old, but what year did you start flying? Yeah, so it was you. Yeah. Yeah, don't give up on it. I think they're going to bring it back. It was a very popular airplane. Again, it was such a good flyer. That thing flies amazing. I haven't flown, I'll be honest with you, I haven't flown anything that flies as good as that big T-28. That thing is just crazy fun to fly. It is so stable. It's so damn big in the air. It's just an amazing airplane. So you started flying about 1990? Okay. All right. Yeah, I got hooked when I was a kid. 13 years old I started flying in 73. So, but yeah, that A1's just an amazing airplane. It's the most. It doesn't look like foam. I mean, other than the next closest plane is this one. This Mustang I got from Arrows. It doesn't look like it's foam either. There's no hint that it's foam. The paint is so smooth. There's no, the texture of the foam. The little, I don't know, what do you call them? The little cells. You can't see them at all. You can't see them on the Skyraider either. When it was new, Now, you can start to see some, markings of it. It's starting to show up now. But the plane's, it's quite old. It's probably almost 6 years old now. 5 probably. Anyway. But originally when I got it, it looked like a fiberglass model. I brought it out to the flying field, and nobody believed it was foam. They were looking at it, and they're like, that can't be foam. Yeah, it's foam. I'd open the canopy, and they'd look, and I'm like, oh my God, it is foam. I said, feel it. It's so dense. I mean, it's like the foam is super dense, so it's smooth as silk. Hey, Dave's RC, what's up? This is the LX Models A10, Dave. You know, the one that you can get it from Banana Hobbies, you can get it from General Hobbies out in California. But yeah, it's made by LX Models. That's the A10 I got on the table here. Well, you're coming to the party a little late, aren't you? Were you out Ubering? Are you just getting back from Ubering? Oh yeah, combat events, huh? That's got to be fun. That's got to be real fun. I forgot we were on Raptor Cam. Where are the events at that you're CO? Yeah, where are you seeing Owen these events at? Local, where you are, or are you traveling around? It's a really good model, Dave. It flies amazing. It flies better than the FMS one. It's a lot lighter than the FMS one. But it's got shitty landing gear in it. And, you know, if you can buy one cheap, a used one, or, you know, when it's damaged or whatever, it's easy to fix it if it's broke. Because I think it's EPP foam. It's not EPO. It's one of the other one. EPS, EPP, one of those. So if it's broken, it snaps off clean. It doesn't compress. You know, it doesn't scrunch up in a ball. It just snaps. The pieces stay straight, and you just glue them right back together. Easy fix. Flies amazing. It looks amazing. It's got crappy landing gear in it. So I put FMS gear in this. That cost me $188 to put the FMS gear in this. Well, that plus the wood I bought and glue and everything I had to do. But you don't want to pay full price for this plane and then have to buy the landing gear. So don't buy it unless you get a screaming good deal on it. Because you're going to have to figure you're going to pay another $188 to put the FMS gear in it. The gear that comes in, it's plastic. It's all plastic. And if you're not flying off pavement, you can't use it. If you try to fly this plane off that soccer field you're flying in, the gear is going to come out of it before you get in the air. It's going to come unglued and fall out of the airplane. That's what happened to me. So, yeah, unless, like I say, if you ever come across one on sale or a screaming deal, buy it. You know, you'll enjoy the shit out of it. But don't pay full price for it and then deal with the landing gear issues. You don't want to do it. Two of the features that's really cool about this airplane is mine didn't work, but it's supposed to. The canopy will open from the radio. It's got a mechanism back here. So you flip a switch on the radio and the canopy slides back slightly and then opens. So that's really cool. And then the other thing it does is you can eject the canopy. There's a mechanism in the front. It's a scissor mechanism. and you flip a switch and it slams the thing up in the air like this, which pushes the nose of the plane, the canopy off. Okay? So the canopy comes off, the wind catches it, sends it out of the airplane, the pilot comes with it, and then the pilot brings his parachute with it, and it goes up in the air and opens the chute, and it all comes down together like this. You know, the pilot's on the chute, and this is hanging from his foot. So, yeah, you know, it's kind of fun, but of course the plane looks like shit now because the whole canopy's gone. So you land and you reload and go up and do it again. So that's kind of a cool feature. I've done that a few times. I never got the canopy to open because my mechanism didn't work from go when I got the plane. So, but that was one of the features that it does. Go on YouTube and just type in Banana Hobbies LX A10, and Pete will demonstrate the plane. And it's pretty cool. He'll demonstrate the canopy opening. I don't think he demonstrates the ejection thing. I think he talks about it, but I don't think he actually does it. But he does open the canopy from the radio, and it looks really cool. I've seen a lot of guys put this mechanism on their Freewing A10. You know, the bigger one. You know, I know RC Jet Dude, Steve Hodges, he put this mechanism on his A10 so he could have the canopy open. I know he did that. I'm pretty sure he used this mechanism. Why reinvent the wheel? Maybe he did something different, but I'm assuming he just grabbed this mechanism and put it in the Freewing A10 canopy so that it would open. You know, why not? You know, I haven't gotten a hold of one yet. Banana Hobbies is still out of it. You know, they've been out of it for years. I think Banana waits till they've sold everything from LX that they're going to sell before they reorder, and then they reorder it all at once. Because if you notice, they're out of a lot of the LX planes, and they've been out of them forever. So, you know, I guess that's how they do it. They wait till they got a big order, and then they order everything at once. I really don't know, but I just know they're out of stuff a lot. You know, this LX stuff. So yeah, I've never been able to get the replacement canopy. I keep looking; it's still out of stock. Because when they put it back in stock, I'm going to buy it. I want the canopy to work. I like that; it's cool. So, yeah, it's a parachute. It opens up and floats the guy down with the. So it's like I said, it's got a couple of cool features that the FMS plane doesn't have, but overall the FMS plane is built better, more rugged, better construction on the foam. It comes with the right landing gear. You don't have to screw with it. You can literally take the FMS plane out of the box and go fly it and just enjoy it and not have any issues. This one, you're going to have to fart with it before it's an enjoyable airplane. It's an enjoyable airplane now, but when I bought it, it wasn't. You know, I had to redo everything. You know, the landing gear, and I had to secure that hatch closed because when the mechanism didn't work, the wind coming over it kept blowing the canopy open. So I had to tape it shut. Because the way the foam is, the control horns, when you screw them through the foam, they just crush the foam, and it doesn't spring back like the an EPO plane. The EPO foam will spring back, so you don't have to keep tightening them up. These you have to, because the foam crushes and it's crushed, and then the horn gets loose in the foam, and you got to tighten them up again. So they keep squishing the foam farther and farther down. Eventually, you're going to run out of foam, and it's just going to snap that little piece of foam that's left off. So I'm probably going to have to cut the foam out and glue a little wooden block in there and then screw the horn to the wood, because the foam's just not going to hold up. I know eventually, especially when you bump it into something. You know, you bump the control surface into something and immediately fucks up the control horn, and now you got to tighten it up by tightening the screws up. So, yeah, it's got a lot of little issues, but I love the plane. It looks great. It flies great. It really flies. It's much lighter. When I say much lighter, it's probably at least 2 pounds lighter than the FMS plane. I mean, there's a huge difference. So the wing loading is much lighter. So it flies a lot better than the FMS plane just because it's lighter. Flight times are easier. It only has 5-blade 70mm fans in it, where the FMS has 11-blade. And I think the FMS has inner-runner motors, so it's more efficient. But because this one's so light, it's just as efficient as the FMS plane. Because it's not hauling all that weight around. It's a hell of a lot lighter than the FMS plane. So, yeah, if you ever see one on eBay used, even if it's broke, buy it. You know, if it's cheap enough. If it's $100 or something, buy it. Because once you fix it up and put the FMS gear in it, and I'll show you how to put the gear in it, it's a great airplane. I love taking this to the field and flying it. A lot of times I take them both. So I have both A10s sitting on the ground. And they're the exact same size. They're both 1,500 millimeters. So they're sitting side by side. And you'll notice when they're sitting by side some slight differences. Like the canopy, I think, is more scale on this one. It's a higher bubble, which I think is more correct. The FMS one's a little sleeker, and I don't think the bubble on the bubble canopy on the A10 is sleek. I think it's bubbled like this. So I think this is more accurate. Some of the dimensions are slightly different, you know, but they're pretty close. I mean, they're very, very similar. So when they're sitting there next to each other, they don't look out of place. They look like two A10s sitting there. You got to really start scrutinizing to see the differences. Otherwise, everybody just think they're two of the same airplane. Especially after I put the FMS gear in this one, now they look identical because even the landing gear is the same. So, but yeah, it's got a lot more detail on it in the foam, all the little access hatches and all the ribbing and all the, you know, it's just got a lot more detail on it than the FMS plane. Not that that's a deal breaker, you know, I don't care that it has all this extra detail on it. But yeah, as far as value for your money, the FMS plane's a way better deal. Just buy the A10 from FMS and enjoy it. This one you're going to have to fart with. You have to spend some money on it. And but if you can get one of these cheap, you know, $100, $150, but then you're all right. Because then you can buy the FMS gear for $188, and you're still only into the plane for a little over $300, which is cheaper than the $469 the FMS plane is. So that's what I would do. If you get the chance to buy one of these cheap, then go this route. Because I love the airplane. I love flying it. It's a great flying airplane. I just wouldn't pay full price for it and then have to put that gear in it. And you're definitely not going to fly it with the gear it comes with. It's plastic. It's crap. I don't mean plastic shrouded. I mean, it's just plastic. The whole landing gear is plastic. I don't know what the hell they were thinking with that. It's got tiny little wheels. It's all plastic. It's just crap. I have the landing gear over there sitting on my car. I could show you the landing gear. It's crap. So that's typical for LX. I mean, a lot of their stuff, you know, they definitely go cheap on a lot of stuff. Their stuff flies good. I mean, the aerodynamic designs are fantastic. They fly wonderful. But they just use, you know, it's American Hobby King. You know, they just, you know, they just make their shit out of the crappiest stuff they can find. You know. Only Pete from Banana Hobbies could land those without breaking the gear. No, I mean, Pete's a good pilot. I agree there. But I think Rich, I don't remember if Rich did one on this plane or not. But Rich can fly. He could land this thing. You know, it's easy to land. I mean, like I said, it's so light, it comes in easy. the landing gear would hold up if you were flying off pavement, a paved runway, but it won't hold up in grass. And I fly off grass. So on takeoff roll, the nose gear ripped out of the plane. Just came unglued. It didn't tear up the foam. It just came unglued from the foam. So it was the first flight, I put the gear up, and the nose gear's hanging from the wire, pendulating back and forth like this. So the plane's diving and climbing and diving and climbing. It was a ride. Let me tell you, that was a fun ride getting that back on the ground. I got it down, safely. I didn't break anything, but man, I broke one of the main landing gears, but I didn't hurt the foam at all. That was a fun ride. And it just, I hit a tuft of grass on takeoff roll, and it just pulled the gear right out of the plane. Didn't break it, just pulled it out of the plane. No, it's a 70 millimeter, Dave. Yeah, same as the FMS. Like I said, they're the same airplanes, same size. They're both 1500 millimeter, both twin 70 millimeter fans. These are 5-blade fans, and the FMS are 11-blade fans. But I think the FMS is I'm not sure I have version 1. I have both. I have this and the FMS. I think version 1 was outrunner motors, and the version 2 is inrunners. I think. Don't quote me on that, but I think that was one of the changes they upgraded, is they went to inrunner motors on the version 2. So, but yeah, they're 70 millimeter fans. It's a 1500 millimeter wingspan. It's a big airplane. It's when they're sitting on the field side by side, they look like twins. I mean, there's so little difference if you don't know what you're looking for. Especially now that I've got FMS gear in this, they just look like the same airplane. Nobody notices they're different. I have to show them, And they're, oh yeah, I guess they are a little different. Yeah. Little. I don't remember if this one came with weapons or not. I think it did. I think it's got bombs and stuff you could put on it. I didn't put them on. But I'm pretty sure it came with weaponry. I just don't think... I think the detail on it was terrible. The FMS ones are pretty decent, but I think the weapons that came on this were terrible, if I remember right. So I didn't bother putting them on. Plus the drag is just more load on the battery. I don't need that. So I didn't bother to put them on. You get dizzy, huh, Terror? Yeah, I know, I do too. Flying around in circles just don't do it for me. I just can't get into that at all. I've tried. It just doesn't do anything for me. Once you've flown a radio control airplane, I don't know if I could ever go back to a control line. I just don't get it. Yeah, I agree. I think it's more scale looking. LX, they do a lot of stuff I like, but they do a lot of stuff I don't like. And the end result is, at the price point they're asking for these planes, it's too much. If it was priced more like Dynam, they'd have something here. Because, they they either have to put quality crap in it or they got to lower their prices because, you know, the crappy landing. Let me go get that landing gear. You just ain't gonna believe what they put in this damn airplane. So this is the nose wheel. This is all plastic. All of this. All plastic. There's not any piece of metal. The only metal piece on here is this strut. Right here. Which is the retract strut. It's a worm gear. Right here. Let me get back. Right here. It's a worm gear here that pulls the gear up. The rest of it's all plastic. And you can see right here the glue. It's got paint. Right here. Let me get it. Yeah, you see the paint there? That's a flat piece of plastic that they glued it into the foam, the painted foam, with contact cement. And they expected that to stay in the airplane, you know, while you're taxiing or driving around on grass. So the paint just pulled off the foam and the gear fell out of the airplane, literally. It was hanging from the wire like this while I was flying. I mean, and look at the size of that damn wheel. I mean, that wheel is an inch. That's my thumb. You know, it's a freaking inch and a quarter at the most. Stupid. Yeah, so that's the crap landing gear that came in it. You taking off, Dave? Yeah, I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's the same gear they put in the Raptor. Probably the same stupid wheels. You know, you put these tiny little wheels in their shit. There ain't no way you could fly it off anything but pavement. I guess LX thinks everybody has a paved runway to fly off of. Because they sure don't build this stuff to fly off grass, that's for sure. Yeah, well, you know, Banana just sells them. They don't build them, you know. This is strictly LX models just being stupid, you know. And I've done many videos on their stuff, and I keep telling them what they're doing wrong. I don't know if they're listening or not. I don't know if they care or not. But yeah, this isn't my first go around with an LX model. I've got a bunch of their stuff, and it's a shame because I like their stuff. I mean, I really do. My B2, I've got a B2 bomber from them, and it's a beautiful airplane. I've got, but again, tiny little wheels. The landing gear's glued in just like this. Hell, the nose gear, I've never even flown that plane because I couldn't fly it off the tiny little wheels off the grass, so I didn't even try. The nose gear fell out of the plane. Never even flew it. It's just been sitting in the rack with the gear down, and then one day I noticed that it was hanging from the wire. So the nose gear fell out of the plane. You know, I mean, it's, you know, it's crap. You know, they just, I wish they'd get their act together because I like their stuff. I mean, the designs are beautiful. They're really scale. I mean, it's not all bad, but, you know, as a whole, as a package as a whole, I wouldn't spend my money on much of their stuff. Now, the Corsair I bought recently and had to send back actually was pretty nice. If it was still this kind of foam, it was really dense, so it was really nice. And the landing gear's fine on that. It's good landing gear. I really didn't pay any attention to how it was installed, though. But, all right, Dave, we'll see you. Have a good night. We'll see you in your show tomorrow night. Well, you know what, guys? I think we're going to call it. We're all running out of things to talk about because you guys aren't really saying much. So let's call it. I'll see you guys in Dave's show tomorrow night. I'll see you in Ryan's show Saturday night. I'll see you in Wes's show Sunday night. And we'll have some more fun. But yeah, I'm gonna call it because we're just kind of spitballing around here and we're not really saying too much. Yes, it had the fold-up wings. That's why I wanted it. Well, two things. It's beautifully painted. I love the paint scheme on it. The prop has got super detail on it, so it's beautiful looking. And the wings fold up. So yes, that's why I bought it. And I've been wanting that plane for four and a half years, easy. And yeah, I'll hit you up, Brian. Don't worry. We'll chat. But yeah, it's the one that with the fold-up wings, and it was beautiful when I took it out of the box. But like I said, the flaps were broke off of it, and he didn't want to fix it, so I sent it back. So I'll probably end up buying it from Banana Hobbies. They have it in stock right now too, so. I might just pull the trigger on it and get it again. It's a little more work. It's not just take it out of the box, put 8 screws in it, and you're flying. You gotta put some of it together. You gotta glue the motor box in it. It's not glued in, so you're gonna have to set the prop depth from the cowl, and the cowl's not mounted. You have to mount the cowl. Not a lot of work, but a lot more than just screwing it on. Screwing the wings on. So. But I'm okay with it. It's a beautiful airplane. God, I love that airplane. I've been wanting that thing for so long. So, I'm probably still going to buy it. I'll just, it's been one of those ones I have to work on. That's all. All right, guys, we're going to call it. Have a good night. Like I said, I'll see you in all the other rooms. Dave's tomorrow, Ryan's on Saturday, and Wes is on Sunday. I'll be there. So I'll see you guys there, and I'm gonna pull the plug because. We're at 6 hours again. So 5. I was an hour late, but yeah, that's long enough. Let's call it. So have a good night, guys. Talk to you later.